G'day guys, Chris here from Vo-Gus Prospecting. Today we're going to do a little bit of test panning up a creek so I can find out where I can set my high banker up to get the maximum amount of gold without having to fluff around all day. I've only got a couple hours of daylight left, so let's get cracking. The first place I'm mining is actually just down from where I did some of my original high banking. Now the reason I'm mining here is because what I didn't notice, or what I wasn't paying attention to that day, was this cluster of rocks, which will cause a rippleboard effect like you would get in your sluice. So the water's going to come along, cause all sorts of turbulence, and the gold's going to drop off right here. So I'm going to dig a couple of pans and just see what we can find. We got the results from the first test pan we did. It is pretty typical of what I've been finding in this creek. It's not the biggest gold, it's not coarse, a lot of fine micro, and that spot definitely warrants a couple more shovel loads, a couple more panfuls, just to see if that sort of level of gold continues. With the second pan, the quality of the gold, or the size of the gold, actually petered off a little bit. There's just as many specks there. Hopefully you can see them in the camera view, but it's not what I'm after. I'm after more than that. I want a really good showing of colour. So we're going to move on and try and find another spot. I've just found another semi-likely spot. Now I did a bit of test panning in this spot a little while ago, but I didn't check in behind these rocks. So we've got one rock here which is loose, and then another rock just here. And what we're going to do is move this rock and dig in here and just see where the gold's sitting, because it is on an inside bend. You've got the inside bend just here. You can see that over here the stream has tried to come straight and it's undercut the bank, massively undercut it, and it's all started to come back out here. And when they undercut, the water rolls and it pushes the dirt back this way, and that will hopefully get trapped in these rocks here. So we're going to do a couple of test pans. Oh, the stream bed's really rocky here. That's good. It's hard packed. There might be a lot of old gold. Oh, look at that. That's what we're after. That sort of clay, rock, gravel all mixed together. One day I will get a classifier. I tried to buy one today, but they bloody sold out over Easter. Unfortunately for me, if you can see it, there are some micro specks of gold there, but there's not very much of them. Now this either means that the gold settled deeper, or there's just not gold right there. We're going to do, it's shown me colour, so we're going to do another couple of shovels, and if it gets better, we'll keep going. If it doesn't get better by the next pan, we're not going to worry about it. I just moved the second rock that I pointed out in this hole, and I've pulled out a shotgun pellet. Almost no gold, so about the same as what I got last time from the very last pan, but the shotgun pellet breeds hope because it means that heavy things have been trapped there. I'm going to dig this one last shovel, which is from down a bit deeper, and we'll see if the gold's sitting down there. Otherwise this is probably a bust spot and we'll move on. Compared to the first spot, this has remained the same. Pretty consistent, but tiny little amounts, so we are going to move on. It might be worth maybe throwing in a river sluice and just throwing 20 shovels down it, seeing what you pull out. But at this stage, we're going to find somewhere better. Oh, look at you, Grizzly, getting in frame. This is an interesting spot. You can see that the path of water has been interrupted, so it's going to be coming down here, and you can see exactly where it's being forced to flow. And the outside bend is normally not where you check. You normally would check in here. However, with these couple of big rocks that are just along here, and this log, there's a good chance that they've worked like riffles, just like we had up earlier. So we're going to check in behind the log, which is a bit of soft clay stuff there. We might get some flood gold trapped in, and hopefully there's some rock and clay underneath it. Got to break up that clay. A single speck of gold in that. And that's why we don't check outside bends. The stupid places we get ourselves, look at that. That's all sword grass, it's a bloody nightmare. I am going to dig in amongst it. There's this obstruction that we've got going on just where my shovel is, and we're going to try here. You can hear how sandy it is, and this time I'm actually going to dig deep. I'm going to see how deep it takes to hit clay or bedrock or whatever's under the ground. This is the lowest point in the creek I've been in so far. It does obviously drop off further down there. And if you look at the mullock heaps around here, it's a good indication that they were doing a lot of work. Once again, not a sausage, not a single speck of gold. Oh, I told a lie. There's one tiny micro there. You gotta love the GoPro for being put in stupid spots, eh? I've just kept a little bit more of this surface stuff. Even though I found that one tiny micro, I will do another test pan of it. It is really hard packed stuff. It is, I mean, solid as to get in, and it automatically looks better than what I scraped off the top. I'm actually saving it. I'm putting it all on the bank. There's no forecast rain, so I don't expect this to rise. And if this does pay out, I will put all the stuff I'm saving through my sluice when I set it up, if I set it up. Once again, absolutely nothing. I've been consistently working my way downstream, heading that way, and I haven't found really any gold except for about 100 meters back up there. So now I'm going to head upstream, and we're going to find out if the gold's lying further up there where there's maybe a source or more pressure. I don't know. Let's go for a walk. The spot that I dug was just below that waterfall, that little ridge of rocks. I've already dug this section out, which is at the base of a bedrock waterfall. I know that's bedrock. So what I'm thinking is maybe just in here, you see this huge wall of rocks. It's got to slow it down. And there's lots of gravel here. Let's give it a dig. Given my understanding that there's bedrock, now for the crappy little bit I could get in my pan from a crappy little hole down here, that was it. I actually got some show of colour. It's probably a good 15-20 specks there. They are little. So we're going to use the yabby pump and see if we can't suck it all up. You just ended up in my hole. We're going to use the yabby pump, see if we can't find some more. From about 10 pumps, we're sitting in here with a little bit more colour. That's floating on the surface, of course. That's a good sign to me that this little gully here that they've mined out is definitely worth further look. We're still not all the way down. There could be a lot more at the bottom of that hole. I'm running out of daylight though, so we'll see how we go. We might get a few more in, we might not. That was a very enjoyable afternoon of prospecting. You can see the sun's going down behind me. It's time to call it quits. We're just going to empty out my bottle and show you what we got for the day. Just doing a little bit of panning and testing it out. A lot of micro in there. That big chunk up there. Here we go. Lots of micro, a few chunks, one shotgun pellet. Nothing to write home about, but it's gold, and that's what it's about, doing test pans. Because if I'd set up my sluice and wasted petrol and all my time to just get that same amount that I could have done panning, then I would have been a very disappointed chappy, hey. I'm going to continue test panning this creek until I find the right spots. And then of course I'll film it and show you guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to our Facebook page, Vo-Gus Prospecting, and hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to see all of our other videos. Thank you very much, and I hope to catch you out here someday.